fine. That's absolutely fine. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. When I heard that someone who worked on my sitcom was being awarded a BAFTA, all I quite reasonably heard was, your show has won a BAFTA. On arrival, the awful truth has revealed itself. Not only do I not find myself at the actual BAFTAs, but I've discovered... Let's be honest. No. Take it. Take it! But I've also discovered that Emma Thomas, the recipient of this year's special award, fine, is receiving it for her work on numerous shows, all of which I couldn't care less about. Combine this with the realisation that Emma is that woman who kept interrupting me on set to point out alleged mistakes I'd made, and we have a recipe for crushing disappointment. I can't tell you how much I resent being here. Anyway.
I got started in comedy through necessity, is what I would say, is because I had always wanted to do comedy. Even from a very young age, I liked trying to make people laugh. From primary school, really, I worked out that that was a way of getting me the attention that I seemed to crave. So I liked trying to make people laugh. So I think it was always at the back of my mind. And then I didn't quite have the courage of my convictions. I did a drama course at university and largely just played comedy roles throughout. And then at the end of university, I ran away and became a teacher because I couldn't quite build up the courage to have a go at the thing that I really wanted to do. That's the truth of it. So I was in teaching for a long time, 12, 13 years. And then I got to the stage where I just felt I had no choice but to give comedy a go because I knew I would forever regret it. So I got into my early 30s and thought, oh, you need to just man up a bit and have a go at it. So I did. So I started by doing a stand-up course with a chap called Logan Murray, who's been on the circuit for some time and has a great understanding of comedy and is a very good tutor. He's very good at helping you find out what's funny about you or what you might be able to develop. Yeah, so I did that, which was essentially an improvisation course, just like once a week for 11 weeks. And then I bit the bullet and started doing little stand-up gigs in small pubs and clubs. You know, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, unpaid. And then after a few months, you know, someone might give you 20 quid to do 10 minutes and incrementally built up until I was on the comedy circuit where I was able to make a living out of it and ease out of teaching. I also was very fortunate in that I got a job writing at Children's BBC on a cartoon. That was a really lucky break for me in terms of being able to move away from teaching.
This is Greg Davies.
I am. This is Alex Horn.
Yeah, he is the Taskmaster and the host of the show, and I'm his assistant, his lovely assistant.
And Alex is also the creator of Taskmaster, but we don't mention that. I've had it in my contract that we don't mention.
No, I'm fine with that.
I'm the Taskmaster.
It's all my idea. The story is that my former colleague Tim Key won the Perrier in Edinburgh one year, and I was very jealous. I didn't go because I had a child, which isn't as good as winning the Perrier. So I came up with my own awards scheme the next year, which was Taskmaster. So I set 20 comedians a task once a month over a year for a laugh, and they completed the tasks and I judged it. And it wasn't meant to be a telly idea, it was a bit of fun. And then I did it again and it became more fun, and someone at Avalon said, well, maybe that could work on telly.
And the BAFTA goes to Taskmaster! Yay!
Thank you to so many people. Everyone at UK TV, thanks to Hilary and Richard, thanks to all at Avalon, John and James, of course. Thanks to all the comedians, all the team. Thanks to Vicky Winter for keeping us together, Sam Montague for making it look so amazing. Thanks.
Oi. Who are those two?
This is Andy, the producer, and Andy, the director.
Tell them they can go.
He says you can go.
Read that note in your pocket.
It just says bedwetter.
Thanks, BAFTA.
I have lots and lots of people who've been an inspiration to me. My dad was the funniest human being I've ever met, and my mum is very amusing, and as is my sister. We laughed a lot as a family. There was a lot of laughter in our house, and often at the expense of each other. Not everyone was laughing. Rick Mail and the young ones was a huge influence on me. Just the madness of it. My sort of, the things that make me laugh tend to be quite extreme and frankly often puerile. But it's surprising, it's quite hard. It's quite hard to be puerile in an ordered way. It's a real learning process. I mean, Eddie Murphy was a huge influence on me because my dad was working in the States when I was about 17. And I went out after I finished my A-levels, and when I got out there, I was on my own for 2 months before my sister and mum came out. And I suddenly realised that my dad was actually working. So it was just me, stuck in a weird town in Virginia. And I bought an Eddie Murphy comedy tape, Delirious, and I listened to it for weeks on end. A lot of that tape is dated and grossly offensive these days, but there are key elements of the storytelling that really influenced me. He does a routine in that show about a barbecue, or a cookout as they call it over there, and it is just such an accurate portrayal of a dysfunctional family at a barbecue. It really had an impact on me, and coming from a family full of characters, it really struck a chord. It made me think, can I exploit my friends and relatives by just telling truths? And that's carried on into my work now. I think that there's always a fundamental truth lurking beneath any joke writing.
Congratulations on your nomination.
Thank you very much. I'm amazed.
This is your first acting nomination.
Gosh, yes, of course. It's my first real acting job.
Oh, well, you don't
Yeah.
count. You don't count everything else that you've done so far.
Well, no, I've just done. They've been quite short bursts before, but no, I mean, yes, I'm delighted. Of course, I'm delighted. Do you want me to hold this? I feel like I should.
I know I'm like that. No, it's all right as long as you're
Do you
okay.
want me to duck?
No, that's fine. That's all right. I'm usually taller than everyone else. I've got to say, if you had a daughter, though, what would you feel like if she brought home someone like Cuckoo?
Well, it wouldn't. The whole series, if I'd been the dad, the whole series would have been over in about 5 minutes because I would have just said, "Well, this is clearly not happening. Get out." And that would be the end of the show, so it's just as well I wasn't the dad.
When you were filming that show as well, did you go, you know what, this has got winner written all over it?
Well, I mean, I read the script and thought, what a lovely script. What a nice, rounded, affectionate, funny thing it is.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you never know whether people are going to like it or not, but people seem to have liked it, and it was a joy to be in, really.
I mean, it is a very, very funny show, but tonight, as brilliant as your nomination is, you're up against some other equally funny people.
I hadn't heard of any of them.
I know, small names.
I hadn't heard of any of them. I mean, I'm sure they're great. So the young lads starting out in this business, and they deserve a break, and good luck to them, yeah.
So if you are to then go up on stage and make a speech, have you written it? It's inside that
Of course
pocket?
I haven't.
Yeah, I bet there's a little
No,
speech.
no, there isn't. I'm
No.
realistic about my chances. I'm just happy to be here. Hello, Richard.
How are you, Greg?
I'm all right, thank you. I'm very excited.
Are you?
I'm very excited because my programme just won a BAFTA.
Yeah, we said that. Don't overegg it.
Oh.
What are you here for?
Well,
We're
I'm here
to meet the nominees, aren't we?
Yeah.
All right. Here they are.
Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hey. Hi.
Potentially, congratulations.
Haven't got one yet.
No, I know. I said potentially.
No, the hair. The hair.
Oh.
That's great.
Good.
Gosh.
Good, baby. Just a little.
Zoom
Hello.
is great for banter, isn't it, Greg?
I'm going to go straight to the. I'm going to go straight to the scripted stuff.
Oh,
if
mate.
that's all right. But I'm going to do it in a seamless manner.
Go on.
Hello.
you know, if you try and make something relatable, you fail. But if you just tell the truth of the things you've seen and the things that you viscerally responded to, had a gut reaction to that made you laugh, the chances are there's going to be quite a few people who know why you laughed. A lot of what I do is reportage, I suppose, but structuring that is where the work comes in. The process for writing is very different depending on what you're writing for. So I'm lucky that I get to do stand-up and I get to write for television, and the two disciplines are wildly different for me anyway. Stand-up is a lot more straightforward because you can go and try ideas out and you can find out conclusively if something has humour in it or is going to make a group of people laugh by just taking a germ of an idea and going to a small comedy club and just saying it. And that appeals very much to my personality. It is instant gratification. It very much appeals to me, as my family would tell you. It's just like, can I have it now? Can we just do it now? And with stand-up, you go out, you have half an idea, you go and say it on a stage, and if someone laughs, you think, yeah, okay, there's something in that. Writing for television is entirely different because there's no audience there during the whole process, so you're just hoping that you're right, that this is funny, and that it's going to chime with people. I've just worked out certain key things that work for me when writing, and that is, one, not to be on my own, and so I always get other people in who I find funny to throw ideas against. It's sort of creating that atmosphere, really, of saying a thing out loud and seeing if it's funny. And then it's slog. Writing for TV, it's just graft.
And it took some convincing, and then we pitched it around and actually got Greg involved very early as the Taskmaster, because I'm not a natural host, I'm a natural sidekick. You're definitely more alpha and I'm more beta.
I tense up when I'm cold. Do you tense up?
I do. I'm sorry, yes I do. Yeah, I always tense up when I'm cold. Yeah. And I think I transformed it from being some bloke's idea to a TV thing with a host and a sidekick.
Paint the best rainbow scene.
You may not open the lab door until the task is complete.
You have 10 minutes. Your time starts now. We're on this.
Yes, please.
Oh, I can't see the colours.
Very nice to have the tasks really spelled out.
I like to think that Alex does the sort of more tedious part of coming up with the tasks, and then I take full ownership of them. Because I do, it's a funny thing, and once you get into the role as the Taskmaster, I do imagine that I have set these and that I'm angry if they're not done properly, which is absolutely ridiculous.
What is it? Is it self-sabotage? Do you want this? Just try and pull yourself up by the bootstraps. Give it a go. Really have a go at the show. You're not a bad guy, Nick.
But also, when I'm coming up with them, I am just coming up with things that I think Greg and his character would want done. That's quite often a good way of thinking of them.
Yeah.
What would he want? What would that madman want done next?
Back to the script that was so cleverly kept from me until just moments ago. Emma trained at TV Central in Nottingham. Her credits include a wide range of some of the most successful scripted shows in British television, including Goodnight Sweetheart, Birds of a Feather, Teachers, Benidorm, Luther and Bad Education, to name but a few. Incredible, my show's not even on that list. The role of script supervisor is an integral part of television production, but seldom recognised or awarded. Fundamentally, the script supervisor is the editor and writer's representative on set, as well as being the right-hand aide to the director and the director of photography. It is the script supervisor's job to make sure that at the end of the day, the filmed footage can be cut together coherently. In that sense, they back up every department, monitor the script during shooting, and make sure that errors in continuity do not occur. that would cause an editing nightmare. Not only has Emma worked on over 50 productions of both television and film in the last 30 years, but she also sits on the board of Women in Film and Television, where she has been a member, quite right, she's been a member since 1999 and takes an active role in mentoring young women in the industry. Let's take a moment to find out more.
Having a germ of a funny idea is very different from making it sit within a coherent structure. So that for me is the battle, is making something fit together. And the only way to do that is just to keep bashing your head against the wall. It's just to keep hitting it until it all sits in place. Does that make sense? Right. I think how closely you stick to a script and how much you improvise is entirely dependent on the project, because if it's man down, then I feel entirely comfortable at coming off the page and trying new things out and altering it as we go along. But if it's someone else's, like I'm in other shows, I'm in a show called Cuckoo, I think you have to be respectful of the process, because I know how much work's gone into my show. I don't bowl into other people's shows if I'm lucky enough to be on them and start saying I'm going to change this. But an ideal set is a group of people who are so comfortable with each other that everyone's got a voice and people can say, how about this? How about we try this? And in Man Down, often, things will come from someone suggesting it on the set, and I love it. I don't know how to keep things spontaneous and fresh when you're saying them repeatedly. I don't know. I think you just do it. But it is often tedious. That's the truth of it, that filming is often tedious. Often when you do the first take of a scene for television, the crew will laugh, and when you do the rehearsal for the crew, they'll laugh. And if you're a performer like me, you feed off that, and with every take that diminishes. Yeah, it's one of the things that you just have to learn is to try and be consistent. It's just a slog. It's just a learnt skill, I suppose, and it is difficult because the words start to become meaningless. It's like anything. If you repeat any word over and over again, after a while, it just sounds like you're speaking in tongues, and that's often the case with filming. Yeah, so it's just a thing. Just do it.
Yeah, I'd say luckily it's the sort of show where you're not scrabbling around for material, because we show things that happen which are funny and then you're reacting to it. So it's less of a marathon than it might be.
There's always another task coming in, you know that. But you do come out feeling quite punch drunk.
Yeah, this is day 4 of 5.
Yeah.
So we are at the end of our energy levels. It's still a combination of there's people asking to do it and there's people we're asking to do it. There's still a couple that we would love to do it who haven't yet.
I think the message has got out there that people aren't willfully humiliated on Taskmaster. I think that was a concern at first, that people thought they were going to be made fools of.
Yeah, persuading the first cast, Frank Skinner, to do an unknown show where you can't see a script and there is no script. You just got to trust us. That was a big step. Him agreeing to do it was a big moment, I think.
Women in comedy are at the vanguard of the best work being produced today. Female-led shows rightly dominate any sensible discussion on originality, and it's a great thrill to be asked to present the BAFTA for Best Female Performance in a Comedy. BAFTA is keen to celebrate all 4 of the nominees in this important category. And you know how I know that? Because they are watching in from the safety of their homes, whereas I am here in a studio during a global pandemic. I suppose I should just be grateful that I wasn't asked to present this whilst teetering on the edge of an active volcano or panic surfing on a tsunami. The message is clear. BAFTA has its favourites, and the rest of us are nothing more than cannon fodder. Ayoade thinks this is a career high for him. It isn't, mate. We're both collateral damage. The moment there's a vaccine, Norton will be parachuted straight back in. Where's Norton? Is he here? No, he's not. He's at home wearing a mask where it's safe.
The secret of successful collaboration is just remembering that it's how much everybody is invested in it. I think that's the thing to remember. that even if someone's playing a small part in something, it is significant to them and it is part of a bigger dream of theirs. Just make everyone feel important, I suppose, because they are. On a show like Man Down, it's such an ensemble piece. It's so reliant on the interaction between the characters and everybody feeling like they're being funny and having fun. It's one of the first things I learnt in stand-up that Logan, who ran that course, said, you know, if you're having a good time, chances are the audience will. I think it's the best bit of advice I ever got. And if you remember that on set, if everybody is having a good time and feeling valued and comfortable, then the chances are that what you end up watching will be enjoyable. I suppose what I enjoy about my job is that I would be doing this even if I wasn't being paid for it. I was a tedious show-off prior to comedy anyway. So, you know, I was a drama teacher, and the kids will tell you, the kids I taught, that I was an insufferable show-off then. And my friends would tell you that in pubs for many years, I was always trying to make people laugh. I can't remember Oscar Wilde's exact quote about doing the thing that you know, being, when you find the thing that you love to do and then someone starts paying you for it is the dream. I'm sorry, Oscar, I can't remember what you said. It doesn't feel like work a lot of the time. I mean, don't get me wrong, often it does. The writing process feels like work, but a lot of the time it's just such fun. And, you know, it's so great to make people laugh. Well, who wouldn't like that, you know? If people come and watch one of my shows and feel like they've, you know, taken a day off from whatever's going on in their life and had some fun escaping it.
We laugh on set all the time, you know, to the point at which it interferes with some of the camera work. It's an amazingly fun show to do because I like making pretty pictures and doing silly things and making things funny. So all those things feed into this kind of show.
I always say the same one, and it was to impress a mayor.
42 Calippos.
Lovely. That's a tough one, I think.
I like the open-ended nature of some of them, where the response is almost 100% coming from them, because we haven't given them, or Alex hasn't given them particularly prescriptive train tracks to follow. So to impress a mayor, obviously you can do whatever you want, and I love the response.
Clippo? Yeah, why not?
My face.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Till next time.
And I'd say similarly, there was one in the last series which was give me a special cuddle, which resulted in Bob Mortimer popping me in the boot of his car, and me and Bob Mortimer just having a cuddle in the boot of his car, which is, that's a moment that I wasn't expecting to happen in my life.
And it's moments like that that throw up my favourite quotes from the show, because Bob actually said at some point that he'd always been looking for a reason to get into the boot of his car. Which is a whole other narrative that we didn't really explore, but it doesn't need exploring.
I'm surprised you needed permission, a reason. I suppose you can't do it by yourself.
Yes. Oh. Yes? Yes. Alex.
Yes, Bob?
Would you like to shut the boot lid?
Yes, please, Bob.
Yes!
I suppose I better let you go. Have some lunch, have a break, all that stuff, prep for this afternoon.
I've ordered spaghetti. What did you get in the end?
A Caesar salad. I imagine this will make it in, right?